this computer. Cool. Awesome. We are here. So I was saying that I know by now you guys have been asking yourself that, yes, there are these other networking components or networking technologies that you know of, but you have not covered them in class. So you're wondering, where do they fall? You know, the likes of Bluetooth, the likes of IoT, you are wondering, where does these ones fall? Actually, they are still under networking. When you look at networking in AWS, you'll discover that there are so many technologies, others that fall outside the scope of our course, but they are still under networking. So you'll be meeting most of these technologies as you progress in your career, in your cloud journey. And also, if you decide that you want to specialize in networking, you will now go deep even to learn these other technologies that are available. So I hope that one makes sense. Okay, cool. So let's jump into additional networking technologies. And as usual, we start with our, how do you call this? We start with our objectives. So the objectives that we hope to meet by the end of this unit include that by the end of this, you should be able to list wireless technologies and their characteristics. You should be able to identify the primary goal of the Internet of Things, that is IoT. And you should also be able to define bring your own device. Oh, wait a minute, what's happening to my notes? Just a sec. Okay, give me a second. I don't want this to happen again. Let me just change my internet right now so that we have seamless. Give me just a sec. It's a matter of changing this. Let's see. I hope this one will work better. Cool. I hope I'm still in class. Let me see. If you can hear me, let me get a confirmation.
Yes, we can.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, people. So let me just restart that unit again.
Patrick, 1 minute. Evans, yes. I can see you here. Is Evans Otieno same as Evans Okoth?
I believe so. I believe we only have one Evans.
So it's Evans Otieno Okoth, eh?
I believe so. What's happening to Canvas? Just a second, guys.
Evans, kindly unmute. Patrick, kuna watu wako class na wako class.
Evans. Unaitwa hitika when they call you.
Are you in
please.
class, Evans? Okay.
Has it responded on chat?
No.
Okay. So, guys, just give me a second. Let me get the other notes. Canvas is not connecting, but we'll still proceed. I have the notes somewhere. Just give me a sec. It's technology. Okay. This is the Google Drive. So let me get the PDF. Networking. Oh, okay. So networking module, and we are doing additional networking technologies. This is what we are doing. Let me download that. Just give me a second. I'm getting the PDF. Downloads. Okay, downloads is a good place. Save. Okay, good. And here we go. And so let's see if we can make this a bit bigger. That's too big. All right, so we are talking about the objectives that we hope to meet by the end of this session. So one of them is that you will learn to list wireless technologies and their characteristics, to identify the primary goal of the Internet of Things, and to define bring your own device, that is BYOD, and mobile device management, that is MDM. So those are some of the technologies that we will also try to look at in a high level so that we just understand what they are. So we want to start by talking about wireless technologies. Wireless technologies. So what are wireless technologies? We define wireless technologies as technologies, as devices that communicate through the air. That's the easiest way to define them, as devices that communicate through the air. So wireless technology plays a key role in today's communication. Advanced technologies, which include robots, drones, self-driving vehicles, and medical devices, all have a need for wireless technology for obvious reasons. You know, you cannot have things flying all over the place wired. You know, even for mobility purposes, you need what? You need wireless technology. Question to you guys who are in the call. So tell me, what is the most give me 2 examples of wireless technologies that you use in your day-to-day life. 2 examples of wireless technologies that you use in your day-to-day life. I'd like to see if you guys understand what these things are. Okay. Amy, you are half right. Feel complete your answer. Habakkuk has given a good answer. Okay. Wi-Fi. Yeah, Wi-Fi. Actually, it is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Those are the answers that I was looking at. So Amy is saying that so there are people who are facing problems with their canvas. I hope it is not all through. So someone is talking about infrared TV remote, at Starlink PS4. PS4, really? What is PS4 using? What does Starlink use? So I think most of those wireless technologies fall under those 2 broad categories. And so we have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Sorry. So those are the examples that you see up there. And we are told that wireless technologies communicate without the need of a traditional cord attached to them. From landline phones to wireless phones, from desktop computers to laptops, and even traditional game consoles. Yes, those guys were PS4. Devices have evolved on the go, have evolved to on-the-go virtual reality or VR. The world has been going wireless with the advancement of technology. Yes, so the world has been going wireless with the advancement of technology, and that is super awesome. That is super awesome. Okay, examples of wireless technologies have been provided there, and so you can see we have wireless equivalent privacy. That is WEP. So WEP offers wireless protection and added security to wireless networks by encrypting data. You see, by encrypting data. Later on, if you do anything to do with networking and networking security, you'll come to discover that most of the attacks that threat actors use, they normally do it through what we call okay, they hijack your traffic. They hijack your wireless traffic. That's why back in the day, we were being advised that when you go to public spaces and you can avoid getting into the public Wi-Fi, please try avoid it. If you have carried your own Wi-Fi, use your Wi-Fi. And especially if you go to these, let's say, cafes in town, and then you decide that you want to access your corporate network, please do it behind a protected network. You can use a VPN or stuff like that, because you don't know who is waiting for you where. Because some people, you know, before a threat actor attacks you, they will have understood your patterns. Some people take months just to understand Patrick's pattern, to understand that Patrick goes to, let's say, at cafe in town every Wednesday. So because Patrick goes to this place every Wednesday, and Patrick is a big shot, let's say in organization XYZ, if we want to get into that organization, and Patrick is very good, okay, he has this habit of using the at cafes Wi-Fi, which we can exploit. Why don't we just time him and wait? The time that he goes there, we also go and wait for him there, so that now when he gets in, we can sniff his packets, as Musembi has told us there, or we can hijack his traffic and then implant ourselves into the network, so that now we will be able to get whatever we need from their corporate network. So all that is very, very important. And what I'm telling you here is something that you will learn when you get to organizations, either small, medium, or large. When you get into those organizations, they normally do sensitizations, security sensitization, just trying to explain to their workers, or rather their employees and partners, how they can stay safe in the digital space. Because in the digital world, we are always taught and we are told that almost 65% of attacks, 65% that attacks of attacks and vulnerabilities that hit any organization are normally due to insider okay, they can be traced to insider to insiders, either it's an employee who willingly or unwillingly leaked their credentials, or there is someone that just found themselves on the wrong side, and maybe they were attacked through a wide range of attacks. It might have been a phishing attack, sorry. It might have been a phishing attack. It might have been just their own carelessness, and even some go to an extent of getting to parts of the network that they're not authorized to, and steal data and go and sell. So all that is very, very important. So we are talking about wired equivalent privacy, and we just say that this one offers you an additional layer of protection for your wireless devices. Then we have Wi-Fi protected access, WPA. So for WPA was introduced as a replacement for WEP. Although WEP and WPA share similarities, WPA offers improvements in handling security keys and user authorization. You see, so it started with wired equivalent privacy. Then now we have moved to Wi-Fi protected access. If you look at most of the Wi-Fi that we are using, if you have those phones that actually shows you the type of technology that you're using, most of them will read that currently we are using WPA. And so we've been told that WPA improved what WEP was offering by now, enabling us to be able to handle issues such as security keys and user authorization into networks. Then we have Bluetooth Low Energy, BLE. So for BLE, this one optimizes energy consumption. And then you might also hear Bluetooth Low Energy referred to as BLE. So Bluetooth LE or Bluetooth Smart are also some of the words that you'll hear being used interchangeably to refer to BLE. So BLE technology is primarily used in mobile application. So when you hear people say that, oh, my phone has Bluetooth, or you hear a seller telling you that, this laptop comes with Bluetooth, then this is what you're talking about. BLE technology is primarily used in mobile applications, and it is suitable for IoT. So guys who do IoT, including our very own Joy, who is actually an expert in this field. So BLE is one of the things that is one of those wireless technologies that they use. It was initially developed for the periodic transfer of small chunks of data over short ranges. So you understand, Bluetooth does not really cover a wide range. So in its purpose, the people that actually came up with it, they wanted to get a way of transferring small chunks of data over short periods. And then BLE is used in solutions that span a range of domains, including, so you can have Bluetooth in domains such as healthcare, fitness, beacon security, and home entertainment. So in terms of healthcare, we have these wearable gadgets, wearable gadgets that measures, maybe it measures your heart rate, it counts the steps that you've ran or walked, stuff like that. Then for fitness, the same. When you go working out, there are those, again, other types of wearable devices that you can use there. Then beacons, okay, when you're trying to map out maybe your perimeters or something. Then for security, Bluetooth can also help. And of course, for home entertainment, excuse me, sorry. Excuse me. That was a sneeze. Okay. So so for home entertainment is one of the most the easiest one for you guys to understand because you've interacted with it. We have different devices. Maybe you have a Bluetooth, you have a Bluetooth what? You have a Bluetooth speaker that you can now connect. And for your for your speaker to connect, maybe for your speaker to connect to your TV, both of them must have Bluetooth capabilities. Like sadly, my laptop does not have Bluetooth. I felt really bad because the headphones I have are Bluetooth enabled. Okay, they can connect via Bluetooth. So I've been considering maybe buying the dongle that would help, but I'm still not very sure if that would sort me unless it's a plug and play. But still, to which window? Hey, you've really shouted, Mark. This is Windows 11. Windows 11. I'm not using Windows 7, Windows 07. I used Windows 07 for the longest before I transitioned to this. So if you have a solution for me, maybe you can suggest. My laptop should be able to support Bluetooth because it's a Lenovo X1 Carbon. It's a very powerful machine. But do I say? I think I've just said it. Okay, then we have another network called 5G cellular systems. 5G cellular systems. So for this, we are being told that the complete rollout of this technology will take a couple of years. And we know even in our country, 5G is already here with us. So remember, these notes were written back in the day. Yeah? They were last revised in 2020. And you know, for technology, a lot can happen in a span of 1 year. So considering that it has been 5 years, that's why if I ask within among us here in class, who has a 5G enabled phone, for example, maybe you can show, you can just raise your hand if you have a 5G enabled phone. We will not. Okay. Hey, Belinda. Okay. All right. Who is that other person? Raise your hand and keep it raised. I want to see. Gail. Hey, girl children are really representing on the 5G area. Okay. Boy children, where are we at? Let's get even one person here. I can see Gail and Belinda. Awesome. That's awesome. Naboth. Good. At least you are represented. Future. Finally. That's awesome. So I believe it is those guys that have 5G, you are being encouraged. Thank you, Belinda. You guys can now raise your hand. So it is a good thing. It is a good thing to, yeah. So I guess it is a good it's a good network. I don't have one. I think I'm still at which G are we at? Is it 4G? Yeah, 4G. And then Rich is saying that wababa wanatumia katululu. That is loosely translated to mean that the men in the call are using the touch-tone phones. The touch-tone phones, that is actually even below the edge empowered networks. So it is important to do. It's important to advance with technology when you can. So that is good. Clinton has it. Clinton also has it, and he says that he does not see the difference in terms of network. So are you in a 5G covered area? What is LAPG? Investment iko kwa LAPG. What is LAPG? Anyone with an idea what LAPG is? What is LAPG? Or is it a Gen Z lingo to mean something? Oh, okay. So tablets are the best for speeds. Okay, guys, you can take technological advice from guys of the chat. Guys, maybe you're considering buying a device. You can get some very good advice from your peers. Awesome. So Sorry. So we are saying that rollout has already started here in Kenya. I don't know how it is in Ghana. Has 5G been rolled out in your country, Frank? Maybe you can tell us that in the chat. It will eventually provide download speed of up to 10 Gbps, 10 gigabytes per second. That's awesome. That's awesome. Eventually. So eventually means eventually. Okay. So for these notes, you will just read through them. You'll just read through them. The only line that I wanted to talk to us about are these two last ones. So one of them is that 5G brings what everyone today expects. When you're using technology, you expect things like a great experience, and you also expect efficiency. And this goal is accomplished by giving users low latency, reliability, and almost no outages, and extreme performance. So those are the things that every user wants to get. One, you want to have excellent performance. You want to suffer no outages, and you want reliability together with low latency. So there's a question here, a question for us to think about. What are your thoughts on 5G? Is it worth it? Is it an overkill? Is it so? What do you think, or do you feel that 4G is enough? What do you think? Tell us on the chat. Oh, so 5G has been rolled out in Ghana. That's awesome. So what are your thoughts? For those who have engaged with 5G, someone has told us on the chat that they are not seeing the difference. So do we have anybody that has seen maybe some difference? 5G brought coronavirus. That was the biggest conspiracy theory. Someone has to download NASA once 6G is released. Is 6G really coming out? Yeah, Salim is telling us that 5G is essential for connecting IoT devices to the cloud. Yes, because of the same things that you've seen here. Low latency, reliability, no outage, extreme performance. So that is awesome. The rollout was good on devices, but is there sufficient infrastructure to support it? That's a big question there. That's a big question, Justin. That's like the biggest question right there. Right there. Okay. So that is awesome. That's awesome. So Amazon Web Services, AWS, provides services that take advantage of wireless technology. So there are some services that we will see. But before we get to that, let us talk about IoT briefly. So what is Internet of Things? What is Internet of Things? So the Internet of Things, or the term Internet of Things, refers to physical devices or things that are connected to the internet so that they can share and collect data. So we have different things, physical devices, which are connected to the internet so that they can share and collect data. The primary goal of IoT is for devices to be able to self-report in real time, which can improve efficiency. And it can also surface important information more quickly than a system that depends on human interventions. So before we even move to the next slide, can someone give us examples of IoT devices that you know of on the chat? Examples of IoT devices that you know of? Any IoT device that you know of? I want to see if we know what you're talking about. Sensors for moisture or moisture temperature sensors, M-gas LPG cylinders. That's interesting. Never heard of that one. M-gas LPG cylinders, smart watches. Yes, those wearable devices. Habakkuk, maybe you can tell us more on the chat. How does that work? The M-gas LPG cylinders. Smart meters. I've heard about smart meters, but I haven't really dug deep. Where are they used? Where are these smart meters used? Is it for metering water or electricity? Where are they used? Brian is telling us something to do with trackers. They're also smart beds. What does that do? Does it wake you up automatically or what? M-gas is true. You buy tokens, it gives you cooking gas. So it is something that you, okay, is it a meter like the one we use for electricity tokens? Is it, Musembi? Mm. Something like that. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think I'll check into that. You know, when we told you, when we were starting, when we told you that nobody has monopoly of all knowledge, this is what we meant. You see, I'm
Patrick,
reading things on the chat that I've never heard of. Yes, someone is talking to me.
Patrick,
Yes, yes.
about MGAS, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
What those guys did is that they realized that majority of the poor Kenyans cannot afford the full cylinder.
Mm-hmm.
So they came up with technology whereby you can order for that cylinder. It comes with a customer interface.
Mm-hmm.
And then you are given a till and a pay bill number and an account number.
Mm-hmm.
Once you pay, for example, like if you pay 200 shillings, it calculates the total cost of that gas
Mm-hmm.
and then divides it into amounts such that you only use 200. Once your 200 expires, you are disconnected.
Now, big Q. A question that has been zooming through my mind. So, how do they refill the how do they refill the cylinders?
Actually, the reason why we are saying it's IoT, because once you have depleted your gas, they are able to detect and then they come to refill.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they bring the cylinder. Okay, when they bring the cylinder
Yeah.
is full of gas, and then you're only allowed access to the tokens that you've bought.
Yeah, there's a customer interface unit that they have attached at the top. It has all the things, including networking. Can communicate.
Yeah. Okay. What is the coverage of this service? Is it only in Nairobi or has it spread to other parts of the country?
Where have you been living? It's in Nairobi. It's in Kenya.
Interestingly, okay. One of those interesting things is that I'm hearing about it today. If you ask me how old I was when I heard about MGAS, I will say I was today years old. I've just heard about MGAS today, to be very honest. Okay, I think the word I have heard it over maybe in media, but I haven't really heard about it or really taken interest. But that's a very innovative way to make sure that, you know, it also goes to save our trees. You know, stuff like that. If we are talk about environmental impact, I'm a typical Kenyan. Ooh, okay. So I've clicked on that link. I'll read about it. Yeah, I know about Cocoa. At least I know about Cocoa, but I've never really gotten interested in them. So that is really good. That's really good. I hope I hope those who did not know about MGAS, you've learned. Like me, I've learned about it today, to be honest. Yes, when the cylinder is about, so that is still about that. So there is also smart mattresses and smart bed. Well, things are getting smart. Yes, so Justin is asking if they only refill their cylinders. I suspect so. Mark is asking, Ushago, hii service unatoa wapi? Where are you getting this service? Yet you are in the village. Okay, even Coco is trying to replicate. Frank, do you have a similar solution in your country? Something like MGAS, what our friend Musembi has explained. Do you have something similar in your country? So they only refill their gas. I want to assume that they only refill theirs because you've heard that they come with that. Maybe Frank, you can check, and if you don't have, you can consider one day. But you're hoping that these technologies will find their way to other parts because it's so nice, so nice. And there are also smart people like those in the meeting. Very true, Gideon. Very true. So thank you for those examples. Thank you for those examples. Okay. So, so this is just a repetition. I repeat of what we've just talked about up there. So you'll just engage with that. So IoT continued. When we talk about IoT, we say that this is about the ability to transfer data over a network without requiring human to human or human to computer interaction. So that can be computer to computer interaction. Then it's about expanding product capabilities or the usage of a product. Like, for example, again, going back to the example that our friend Dan has told us. So the possibility there, you see, it has now expanded the capability and the usage of gas. It's about creating value for generated data, from generated data. You know, data is noise if it is not properly cleaned and then made sense of. And right now, there is something that I was learning about modern day leaders in their decision-making capabilities. They're using a lot of AI, and these AI systems and technologies are actually ingesting data. So they are consuming data to make data-driven decisions. So IoT being a system that collects a lot of data can actually be used to make sense of many things, including maybe if you're trying to monitor weather and stuff like that, or even health of patients. You know, so that is very, very important. Then what does IoT do? What does it do? So IoT connects physical items that have built-in connectivity capabilities. So for you to be able to use to use this technology, it has to have the connectivity capabilities. Just the same way, if you have a phone, for it to be able to connect to Wi-Fi, it has to have the capabilities. Yeah, you cannot try to connect a Tululu. A Tululu is attached on phone. You cannot try to connect it to Wi-Fi and succeed. So it has to have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth for that matter. So if you have Bluetooth earphones and then or headphones, and then you are trying to connect to your Tululu phone, that's an exercise in futility, because your Tululu does not have those that capability. And who came up with the name Katululu? Hey, people. Hey. So it generates an enormous amount of data. I'll not belabor that point because we've already talked about it. So people even use the term Internet of Everything, you know, not just Internet of Things, Internet of Everything, to refer to IoT. Things can be thought of as devices or sensors that have the capability to communicate. Many devices are in homes, factories, oil wells, hospitals, cars, and other places that must be connected. Data from these devices can be collected, stored, and analyzed to design better solutions or products. You know, and then IoT devices include consumer applications such as thermostats, that's for measuring temperatures, and commercial applications such as industrial sensors. Then we also have smart watches and smart toasters. Where we even have smart toasters. Okay, the toasting generation. People like to toast. You've been represented. They also include devices in the Internet of Medical Things. Internet of Medical Things, or IOMT, such as health monitors. And we talked about health monitors when we were talking about health and fitness. Cool. So some IoT devices that you use every day, they include smartphones, wearables, and for wearables, we have the likes of smart watches, smart glasses, and others. Then we also have connected cars and thermostats. So for these notes, you'll just read through them. It's just an expansion of what you've talked about. Then, you know, for every device, devices are categorized into different use categories. So we can have devices that are our everyday use, which we can maybe use at homes or in our small businesses, or maybe in our schools. And then we have enterprise level IoT devices, or enterprise level devices. So examples of this include medicine pumps, like the ones you might meet maybe in places like Kenyatta National Hospital, or a national hospital that you know of. Then we have smart fleet management. This is for managing trucks. Then we have closed circuit television, CCTV cameras. So CCTV cameras are very, very important. And then we have smart cities. So smart cities, like in Kenya, we have a smart city called... Someone tell us, what is the name of the smart city that we have in our country?
Tatu City.
Tatu. Tatu. Another one? Konza.
Tilisi.
Okay. Oh, there is Tilisi. Tihu. Tilisi is also a smart... Is it a smart city, really? I think they just have a smart building.
Oh, yeah.
It is?
No, it's a city.
Ah, okay, Tilisi, okay. And now I know Tilisi. Hey, it has a good name. It almost sounds like Tululu. Tilisi. Okay. And no, Brian, we no longer call Katululu Mulikamwizi because nowadays, even smartphones have the torch. Sometimes people say that I bought a torch and then I was given a smartphone. I was given a smartphone as an add-on. Others say that I bought a camera, then I was given a smartphone. So I think Mulika Mwizi has been overrun by the name Katululu. In fact, Tululu sounds best. You see, it almost sounds like Tilisi. At Garden City is a smart city. Where? Who told you? Oliskia wapi? There's another one called Liwen. You people, so you know things. Now, what is Liwen? Liwen is also a smart city. Where? Okay. Mombasa Plastics Smart City. This one I'm doubting. Why? Mombasa Plastics Smart City. Someone Google that and tell us. And this Liwen. Yeah, Gail is saying this is information. Okay. Mombasa Plastic Smart City. Okay, cool. So those are just some of the examples. And you're being told that medicine pumps and pacemakers. And yes, thank you, Musembi. You told us that we also have hearing devices that are IoT enabled. So medicine pumps. Oh, yeah. And examples. I also have an example. And I'm going to, how do you call it? Chomea somebody. I'm going to chomea somebody. So our very own Joy has her own designed smart device that helps you to stay safe when you are either commuting or stuff like that. It's just like a small wearable device called Nami. It's called Nami. This one is worth mentioning. Let me see. Just a second. Joy, if you have a picture of Nami, maybe you can just share with us on the chat. People want to see. You see? Good. So people have been sniffing around your repository, your GitHub repo. I'm trying to find it, but if you have the picture, maybe you can drop it in the chat so that people can see. Linux. Nami. Joy is so good when it comes to IoT. She's actually an expert in that field. You give credit where it is worth it. So Nami, I'm digging to find it. So that's why you hear me talk. And I'll get it. So I either get it or get it. I get it or get it. So Nami is such an awesome solution. It's such an awesome solution. And actually, I learned about it when Joy did a presentation in this year's AWS Restart Alumni Day that was hosted by another company that also teaches the same program. So it was really nice. It was really nice. We have smart people out here. We have very smart people. Oh, Joy, give us the picture. I'm trying to dig it. I'm not seeing it. Let me see. I almost suspected that I always get everything I look for in this Intel space. Let me see. Okay, so maybe in the process of time, we will be able to see it. I've tried, but I've not seen it. Okay, so it's just a small pendant. There it is. Good. You see now, people. Very resourceful, Musembi. Hey, and yet I thought that I was resourceful, but you're very resourceful. So you see, it's a very nice pendant that you can actually use to send an SOS. You know, You can use to send an SOS. Look at that. Good. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Joy. Thank you for that. Look at that. Let me actually open that one. It looks very good. So you see, that's an example of an IoT device. You can use it to send an SOS in case you are in a fix somewhere and you need someone to come and rescue you. And if memory serves, when she was doing the presentation, she was trying to remind us that, you see, sometimes you might be in a fix and you are not able to access your phone and call somebody or even send an SOS through your phone. So using this device, you will be able to do what? You'll be able to send that SOS and it will show where you are and then all that stuff. But I think maybe I can spare like 3 minutes for Joy to answer one question. Joy, are you able to unmute and just tell them in a very high overview how NAMI works so that they get to see that these things actually exist? Sorry for putting you on the spot.
It's okay, Patrick. All right. So NAMI is this pendant that I am designing. I'm working with actually one of us who's here. So with this device, it has sensors for GPS and sensors for something like a SIM card for enabling connection even when you're away from the internet. And also it has a vibration module. I'll not call it a vibrator, I'll just call it a vibration module or a vibration sensor. Yeah. So what happens is, so imagine that maybe you've gotten lost, or you're in an emergency, or you've been kidnapped, or maybe your child is maybe not feeling safe wherever they are, or they've gotten lost. So in the presence that maybe they don't have their phone, they just press this button written NAMI, and NAMI sends their location, just like the one on this on the phone. It sends the device name. So the device name will be registered under someone. So for example, if it is me, it will be registered as Joy. And it will give an event, which is an SOS. It will give the location, and it will also keep updating the location as you continue pressing the button. It will send this information to your emergency contact. So when you're registering the device, you're registering an emergency contact. So if, for example, it's your husband, your wife, your mom, or even just an institution like the police, they receive this message that you're not okay, you're in trouble, you're in this location. You've pressed this button at this particular time. So as you continue pressing the button, the data is accumulated, and we can be able to either, so for something like machine learning model, we can be able to tell where you are. And it also has a camera, so it takes a photo, a very small snapshot of where you are in pixels, and they can use the model can actually use the location where you are to tell this is a specific place that you're in. And as it sends the data for you who you're in trouble, it vibrates to let you know that your emergency contact has received your SOS message, and they have information. So yes, thanks, Patrick.
Awesome. Actually, the way you've explained it, you see, we have very smart people in this call, and you people are wachoyo. You're very selfish. Where are McCoffees for our teacher? Where are those McCoffees? Let me see. Maybe that icon is missing on Zoom. Let me confirm if it's there. Where are those McCoffees, people? Where are those McCoffees? Awesome. That is really innovative, Joy. And yes, there's a lot of demand for that, as expressed on the chat. Rich is saying this can be very helpful for GBV, that is gender-based violence. Yeah, that can be very helpful. Then Musembi is saying that's awesome, especially for kids left in daycares in Nairobi and other places. So kids are getting kidnapped daily. That's very true. That was a very good one. And Ricky saying that was a powerful elevator pitch deck. That was really good. That was really, really good. Clinton, okay, I can see what you did there. Wow, beauty with brains. Wonderful, wonderful. Then Habakkuk is asking how much. I think Joy will communicate to us. We will know as soon as it hits the market. Annabelle was asking who is the response team. I guess you answered that by saying when you are registering the device, you also write there who your emergency contact is. So guys, are you seeing that? So solutions are coming to the market, and this is a very good solution, a very, very good solution. And thank you, Joy, for that. There is this picture that Musembi gave us. I think this is very beautiful. You see how beautiful it looks like. And I actually dig the name. You see, I happen to have seen this device, one of them when she came for that event. It's actually a very small and cute device. So the name Nami, if I'm not wrong, Nami means with me. Is it right, Joy? Nami, with me.
Yes, it does.
You see now, even the name in itself gives you an extra layer of security to know that someone is with you. So you are safe. That is really brilliant. That is brilliant. That is very, very, that's very brilliant. So there are suggestions that guys are giving on the chat. Maybe you can jot those one down and implement those which you feel are fit. So that was really, really good. So it is still in production. We will know by end of December. Very good job. Very good job, Joy. That's awesome. That is awesome. So you see, that's actually a very good example. It was important for you guys to see and know. And you see, someone like Joy is someone that's, I don't know how to say it, sends herself, anajituma. So you guys, it means that after you are done with this program, because she also went through this program, I also went through this program, and from this program, you are able to get these ideas and even form teams and come up with solutions. You know, as a software developer or even as a developer of any solution that you're bringing to the market, always start by asking yourself the question of which problem am I solving? You know, which problem, because solutions are meant to solve problems. And from our brief discussion on the chat and those interactions, it clearly shows you that actually this device, this Nami seeks to solve an existing problem. So that was really, really, really good. I think that was really, 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 really good. Okay, cool, awesome. So we are saying that medicinal pumps and pacemakers have been a huge success in healthcare space. You can control the dosage and schedule of medicine and automate the process to eliminate the scope of human error or accidental overdose. And I've seen this work a lot in ICUs and HDU units in hospitals. And then industries now have a better overview of how their fleets are doing. They can find out whether the drivers are still going to make the scheduled deliveries by remotely tracking the trucks. You know, they can remotely track the trucks. This information gives them better control over the planning and coordination of tasks. I wish a company like Easy Coach will implement this because they are still stuck in the paper-based tracking, in that when you take your ticket, let's say you're traveling to a place like Kisumu, when they give you your ticket, it has several, how do you call these ones? Tearable pieces. So they tear a piece at every stage. So you can, let's say you have arrived at, is it Nakuru or someplace? You stop and then someone comes in and asks you again for your receipt so that they can tear another portion and say that, well, 20 left Nairobi, 20 have arrived in Nakuru, and they are on their way to Kisumu, for example. You see that. So IoT is good. I think as a tracking technology, it can actually help organization transition from paper-based tracking, and as a result, save them trees, man, save them trees. Good. So this information gives them better control over planning and coordination of tasks. That is true. That is the purpose for tracking. Then we have CCTV cameras, which have been a popular enterprise level IoT. They normally use actually enterprise level IoT devices, and this ensures physical security monitoring. I have this friend So they have they are doing commercial let me just call it commercial farming, or rather commercial agriculture in a place, very big piece of land, and now they have CCTV cameras all across the place, all over the place. So wherever they are, either they are in Nairobi or sometimes they even travel outside the country, and they want to see how their farm is faring, together with how the workers are working, they are able to do it. And then most recently, a friend of mine who owns a car wash also told us that he has installed CCTV cameras, and actually through his phone, he was able to monitor and see how the traffic is, how people are coming, how many customers are coming in, and how the workers are doing their job. And that was really innovative, you know. That was really innovation, because before such technologies came, things like telefarming, you know, telefarming is where you make calls maybe to your how do we call these guys? Foreman is for construction. Farm managers, yeah. You call your farm manager to know how your crops are doing in the farm, or how your animals are doing. And then I was once upon a time a victim. I was trying to do a remote farming because I do remote work. So I tried remote farming, trying to farm maize in Nyahururu. And then we had this crafty, let me just call him crafty for lack of a better word, a crafty farm manager. So you call, he tells you that, you know, we've already tilled the land, we have planted. Right now, the maize is at knee, okay, how do you call it? Knee point, yani karibu ifike kwa magoti, and then kidogo where, then it tells you, oh, send money for top dressing, send money for this, send money for this. So we kept sending money together with my partner, and then one day we just decided to drive over to the farm to just see how the maize are doing. Shock on us. Long and short of it, we were thoroughly washed. It was one of those things that you learn and then you say, well, but now see, if we had this, if we had this, then what would have happened? If we had a way to monitor. But again, maybe cost prohibition. If you're doing a small piece of land, like I think our land was like an acre or so, yeah. So if you're doing a big piece of land, maybe it would make sense. But I know with time, as technology becomes democratized, then it will be very, very possible for us even to afford these things. So it's very, very important. Yeah, Musebi, I can see you also had you also had a near similar experience with the fertilizer. Yeah, so it happens. But we learn from those, and we make better decisions. Then many countries have started to invest aggressively in smart cities and smart nation campaigns to make the citizens' daily activities less cumbersome. And you've given some very good examples. You've given the examples of Kilifi, you've given the examples of Konza, and you've also given examples of Tatu City. Okay, cool. So how IoT communicate. So this is an example. Look at that. We have a smart thermostat that is communicating through device gateways. Then we have device gateways, again, connecting to an IoT platform, and then a user interface. I think this is like an example of what Dan told us about MGAS. Maybe they use something like this. But now at the end of it, you don't have the smart cleaner. At the end of it, we now have that gas cylinder, and then smart TVs can also communicate to device gateways. So for these notes, these ones you just need to read them just to enrich your understanding of what we just talked about. Now coming to AWS. Sorry. So coming to AWS, we have a service called AWS IoT Core. AWS IoT Core. So that's a service in AWS that is based on that supports IoT. And let us see what it is. So we are told that you can use AWS IoT Core to connect billions of IoT devices and route trillions of messages to different AWS services. I repeat that you can use AWS IoT Core to connect billions of IoT devices and route trillions of messages to different AWS services. So with AWS IoT Core, users can choose their preferred communication protocol. Remember, we talked about the communication protocol. So you can choose. And some of the communication protocols that are available for you include MQTT. Then we have Secure Hypertext Transfer Protocol, that is HTTPS. And then we also have MQTT over WebSocket Secure, which is WSS, and long range wide area network, LoRaWAN. Cool. Then devices communicate with cloud services. So IoT makes it possible for devices to communicate with cloud services by using various technologies and protocols. And as we have just seen, we are being told that you can use Wi-Fi and broadband internet. Then you can also use broadband cellular data. You can use narrow band cellular data, and then our LoRaWAN, and finally proprietary radio frequency or RF communication. I've seen RF being used mostly in warehouses. Maybe a company wants to calculate automatically maybe their stock out levels, so that they know when they are supposed to be doing what, when they're supposed to be replenishing stock, stuff like that. So RF is a very important technology to help with that. And then again, just like before, you can read through these notes. These notes are just the same, and they will serve to emphasize what is covered in that slide. Enterprise mobility. So when you are talking about enterprise mobility is what we are seeing today happening in most businesses. So businesses are trying to find the best way to adapt technology. As technology changes, you have two choices. Remember, there's a time when we were talking about how the internet, or rather how technology evolves over time. So you cannot resist technology. I often say technology is not a temptation to be resisted. Technology is it's what we call an enabler to be embraced. You know, you can quote that. Technology is not a temptation to be resisted. It is an enabler to be embraced. And it's an enabler because it's helping businesses and individuals to do their works better, I don't know if you guys during your time, you ever did this thing we call agriculture, a subject called agriculture. And I'm going to use an example from there just to explain what an enabler is. An enabler is meant to make your work easy or your life easier. You understand? So there are these things. If you look at agriculture, back in the day, even before we had djembes are like, how do you call a djembe in English? Plow. Is it? Djembe. What is djembe in English? Somebody's telling me? There is fork, then there is djembe. So
Mattock.
No, mattock is a different one. Mattock is used to crush stones. What is djembe in English? Cool kids might not know this, but what is djembe in English? Djembe. Let me Google it. Djembe in English. Hoe. Yes, I think so. Plow feels like that thing that you attach to a tractor. Oh, it's a plow. Oh, so you're right. You're right. What about a hoe? What's a hoe? A metal with a stick. So Frank, I hope you guys have these things that guys used to till the land. So before the plow, people used to use sticks and stones to dig, and so that was cumbersome. And then someone discovered the plow, a metal with a stick. So someone discovered that you can actually combine a metal and a stick, and you can achieve a very good result with less effort. So they moved to that. And then kidogo, people discovered that, you see, we can actually have this big plow that we can now attach to a moving tractor and have it do the work faster and even easier. So they moved to tractors. But because they discovered that maybe tractors are quite expensive for most people, they also came up with an alternative that you can actually have a plow and and fix it. Is it fix or connect? And connect it to maybe moving animals like cows. And then you just press it in and it does that work for you. So you see, human beings, we've always been in that journey, in that process of trying to find ways of doing things in an easier way. So that is how you will talk about the mobility nature of the humans when it comes to adapting to technology. And remember, I've just said, technology is not something, it's not a temptation to be avoided. You know, it's not a temptation to be avoided or resisted. It is an enabler. It is an enabler that you ought to embrace. Yeah, and true. Yeah, like back in the days of the Mesopotamia, for those ones who did history. So all those things that we are talking about, it started from there. So we are talking about enterprise mobility, and we are telling that we are saying that this is a growing trend for businesses. It supports remote working options in which you use your personal laptops and mobile devices for business. So remote workers can connect and access data through cloud technology. Now, this is very, very important, even before we talk about BYOD. You see, organizations have come to that place where they now know that, it is actually possible to allow, let's say, Pat, get into Landly and get into Landly's network using his own phone, using his own laptop, without us worrying, because it is a trend. It is something that it's something that can be done. And you see, before this is allowed, there are other things that needs to be done just to make sure that the corporate network is secured, so that even when my device accesses that network, I access it through a secure network to start with. And then whatever I do there, I must be a trusted person that I will not compromise the entirety of the network. And I only get access to what I need to do my work. You see, stuff like that. So you guys, in the very near future, for those ones who are yet to start working, when you go to work, you might discover that actually, maybe the organization you're working with gives you a laptop. Maybe they can even give you their own laptop, but now again, allow you to go with this laptop, maybe to your homes, work from home some days. Hybrid work and remote work is a thing nowadays, thanks to Corona. The Corona day opened eyes for companies to see that actually people can work from home, people can work from other places apart from just coming into the office. And so once they give you that, they will have trusted you enough that you will do the right things. And if that company is strong enough and it has a security team, it will be the work of the security team to define the parameters with which you are going to access their corporate network. It will not just be free access for everything within the network. You understand? So that is very, very important. So some solutions that facilitate enterprise mobility, we have two of them that have been presented here. We have bring your own device, or BYOD. And then we also have mobile device management. So this bring your own is it's an emerging trend, because nowadays I hear people use bring your own in every other place. Bring your own D. At least today is not Friday, so people will not assume that the D is for Uji. Bring your own Uji. So you find that when people say you are going to a party, you get somebody. These IT people, they just like complicating life for non-IT guys. You find someone saying that, well, in this party you need to bring your own. You need to bring your own gift. Maybe you're going for a birthday party. So BYOG. So this bring your own is a very catchy thing, but bring your own device started way, way back. And we say that this is the use of personal devices such as mobile phones or tablets, or phones or laptops on a public or private network. This solution includes the use of a personal device on a corporate network. So you've been given access to, let's say, company XYZ, and you're able to work with your own device. So security needs to be beefed up for that. Then we have mobile device management, MDM. This is a term that describes the management of mobile devices, but it also applies to laptops and desktop computers. Organizations use MDM solutions so that they can provide devices with settings, software, and access to data in a secure way that complies with their needs. And when we talk about the needs here, it is the needs for both the employees to do their work and the organization to stay safe. Now, one of the things that you might do when you get to an organization and they allow you to use your devices in their corporate network, you might have to sign some document that gives them access or rather allows them to access your devices remotely, not to infringe upon your privacy, but just in case you are hacked, or just in case they discover that maybe your device has been stolen or stuff like that, they can do a remote clean swipe or a remote clean wipe. They can remove all data from that device just to protect the organization, to protect the organization. So that is a possibility. So all that falls under mobile device management. Mobile device management. Remember what we said, the weakest link in organizational security is normally as a result of insider threat. And insider threat, when you hear the word insider means the people working within the organization. So it's very important for organizations to protect themselves. So the notes in this slide just reiterates the things that we've talked about. So that was about IoT core and enterprise mobility. Next, let us briefly look at Amazon Workspaces. So customers can use Amazon Workspaces to provision virtual cloud-based Microsoft Windows or Amazon Linux desktops, which are known as workspaces for their users. So you might be having this many users and you want them to get access to let's say, for example, the work that they are doing, you want some of them to be working on Windows, others to be working on Linux. So you can create this, you can use this service called Amazon Workspaces to provision that for them, So Amazon Workspaces uses either AWS Directory Service or AWS Directory Service for Microsoft Active Directory to authenticate users. Now, Directory Service is a full course in itself, especially when you're talking about Microsoft Active Directory, because what this does, I don't know if you people know something about SSO. You've used SSO and maybe you're not aware, but SSO is single sign-on. So with single sign-on, you're able to be authenticated into different sites or different platforms using a singular user. Let's say, for example, I don't know if you've ever tried, maybe let's say you want to log into LinkedIn and then it asks you, do you want to join with Google? So Google has already authenticated you. Gmail has already authenticated you, and that there's a trust relationship between Google and LinkedIn. So you can use your Google account to sign into your LinkedIn or your Facebook. I hope you guys have seen that. So that's just a small example of how SSO works. And now we are being told that workspaces have that extra level of security using AWS Directory Service or AWS Active Directory Service for Microsoft Active Directory. And you remember when we were talking about authentication, we said what authentication does. Authentication gives you access into a system. Into a system. Then authorization tells you what you can do once you are inside that system, or what parts of that system you can access. So that's what we can say about Active Directory Service. And then customers can deploy and manage applications for their workspaces by using Amazon Workspace Application Manager or Amazon WAM. Again, this is an advanced topic. It just had to be mentioned here so that maybe should you decide that maybe you want to go deeper into networking, when you do advanced networking, you'll now even get to how to set up Amazon Workspaces, what it can do, what it cannot do, and the various use cases for this awesome solution. And now again, these notes are just here to help you just understand, and they're telling you why is it important for you to use Amazon Workspaces. It is simple to manage, for example, it is simple to manage, and it is secure. Why is it secure? It is secure because AWS itself, first of all, gives several layers of security before it even reaches you, even before you use the active, the directory service or the Active Directory Service from Microsoft, before you do that. So all that, and it also scales consistently. It scales depending on your needs. So if you have this many servers, and then you need more servers, maybe you have more employees, or you've opened other branches, you can easily provision more at a click of a button, within minutes, instead of you having to go and buy physical computers to add to maybe your other branch that you've opened, maybe in Kathonzweni, places like that, or maybe you've opened another branch somewhere in Accra. So instead of doing that, you just get into your workspace, provision, and you're good to go. You're good to go. And then, of course, you know, this is a paid service. So being a paid service, it comes with its own payment structure, which I'm not going to jump into because this, as I've just said, it is advanced level stuff. Cool. Good. So the use cases have just been mentioned in passing. So Amazon Workspace is ideal for any situation where desktop needs can change quickly, you know, and you'll bear me witness that the needs of an organization can change very, very fast because organizations are trying to compete with other organizations. If you hear that this other organization is doing this thing that is giving them a competitive edge, you might want to also find something that can also give you a competitive edge. I don't mean that when you see your neighbor opening an M-Pesa next door, you open another M-Pesa just after that one. No, that is not competing smartly. That is not having a competitive edge. It is for you to look at an organization and see this organization, for example, is doing this. So I'm going to do this other thing so that I can also have an edge and maintain maybe my market share or even expand it. You understand? So that is possible. So, so these are some of the use cases that Amazon Workspaces can be used to do. Like, for example, if you have contract workers, these are not permanent workers. They are workers who will come and go. So you don't need to actually do capital expenditure on them. You don't need to have to buy these physical machines for them. Then you have employees who work from home or remote employees. So this is possible. You had us have a discussion the other day about VPNs and VPSs. So with Amazon Workspace, once you've been given that IP, there's an IP that can be given. Let's say, for example, this company is in Australia. You know, this company is in Australia, and then they have rules or laws that says their data should not leave their corporate network. You know, should not leave their corporate network. So you'll be working through Amazon Workspace. You will be working, you know, it is your IP, the IP of the machine that you're using. That is what says where you are. It is not your physical place that now that I'm in a place called Kawaida, that I am here. So if I'm here and I'm accessing, let's say, I'm working for a client, say in Canada, Australia, in the US, and then they have given me access to their Amazon Workspace, and then I am using a machine, a virtual machine that is inside that network, then we will be able to work in such a way that that data will not leave, you know, will not leave, because anybody that comes to check, for example, if you run Userpath, you want to check where is Userpath joining us from, they'll see that Userpath is joining us from this IP address, not the IP address, not my Kenyan IP address, but the IP address of the virtual workspace that I'm working in. You understand? Then employees who work for multiple devices, including personal devices. So that is also important, because now with workspaces, you bring all this under one big umbrella where even managing these devices becomes easy for you. And then, of course, for developers, you know, just the same example that I've given to you, you know, sometimes you're working with a client in, let's say, those different places, and now they want you to collaborate with others. You know, the work of developing is a collaborative work. So you will not do the whole collaboration alone. The way we talked about the software development life cycle, and we saw that there are different people that form a software development team. So maybe, interestingly, you might have a project manager who is an American. You might have a QA who is a Kenyan. You might have a front-end developer who is a Mexican. Then you have a back-end developer who is an Indian. Yeah, Indians had to feature. You might have a back-end developer who is an Indian. Then you go down and then find maybe someone from Madagascar doing something for you, maybe security, stuff like that. So you see, you are in different geographical spaces, but you're working on the same app. You are delivering on the same app. So working under workspaces, working under AWS Workspaces, it will be possible for you guys to collaborate and even deliver on your works faster, you know, faster and seamlessly. So that is just some of the things. And again, those notes are for you. And now that one brings us to the checkpoint question. Don't worry if I've gone super fast on this, because this is one of those topics that I call an FYI for your information. just that you know that these things exist. It's not like these things will be coming in your exams, or even if you meet a question on AWS IoT, it will just be a question to ask you, what does it do? It will not be for you to explain deep stuff, you understand? Or even workspaces, you understand? So I hope that one makes sense. So checkpoint questions. I want someone to read this one for us. Who wants to read? Angela. Angela, are you able to unmute? Angela?
Yes.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So kindly read for us these two checkpoint questions.
True or false? After a user launches an Amazon workspace, the end user can decrease the size of the root or user volumes within the workspace. Which protocol ensures that IoT devices can connect to the internet securely?
Okay, cool. So who wants to take an educated guess? Or okay, I know there are people who are logged into their canvas and they can actually see. So true or false? So you are told here that the answer is false. So after a user launches an Amazon workspace, the end user cannot decrease the size of the root or user volumes within the workspace. Why? Because these ones are set at the time of provisioning. You know, when you get the Amazon workspace, when you, how do I call it? When you procure it from Amazon, when you sign up for it from Amazon, you define these things in advance. So once you are in there, you will know that my Amazon workspace can accommodate so much. But there are other provisions that you can use, maybe reaching out to support, but not you as the user, but the admin. You know, the admin, every system has got an admin user who has the capacity to do things as a root user, you know, but not you as a normal user. Then which protocol ensures that IoT devices can connect to the internet securely? When you hear securely, remember it is HTTP with an S. HTTP with an S. And we said HTTP with an S, that is just a combination of the normal HTTP plus SLS/TLS. So you remember that from yesterday's class. I hope you do. Now, let me see who will read for us these take homes. These take homes. Who is going to read this for us? Let me see. I'm looking for those people that have never heard your voices, so that we can give you a chance to kusikia leo. We hear you today. Leonard. Hi, Leonard.
Yeah, how are you, Patrick?
Good. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, sure. Super. Are you in a position to read this for us?
Yeah, I'm in a position to read.
Okay, please do.
Okay, so wireless technology plays a key role in today's communications. WEP added security to wireless networks by encrypting data. WPA offers improvements in handling security keys and user authorization. BLE technology is primarily used in mobile applications and it is IoT. IoT refers to physical devices or things that are connected to the internet so that they can share and collect data. Devices communicate with AWS IoT Core by using various technologies and protocols. Examples include Wi-Fi or broadband internet, broadband cellular data, narrowband cellular data, LoRaWAN. Yeah, and customers can use Amazon Workspaces to provision virtual cloud-based Microsoft Windows or Amazon Linux desktops known as workspaces for their users.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much, Leonard. That was good. That was really good. So I've just remembered something. Before Amazon Workspaces came, I remember I used to provision a few VPSs. You know, VPS are different from VPN. So a VPS is just like an instance, the same instances that we've been provisioning. So I used to provision a few EC2 instances in the cloud and then use them to do few things here and there. And then one thing I liked about it is the fact that it used to give me a static IP. So maybe you are doing something online that requires that static IP. So you will do that. So you see, instead of me getting to have a physical desktop to do what that one does, because what I was doing, it was actually an automated system that required to run 24/7 in the cloud. Yeah, okay. No, it's required to run 24/7. Even if I was to do it on my local machine, then it meant that my machine needed to be on for 24/7. And no, it was not Bitcoin mining. I know what Musembi is thinking. It was not Bitcoin mining. So I was doing some other stuff that required that. So I was running some automation scripts that required the system to run 24/7. And so I used that, but I did at that time I did not use AWS. I think cost for AWS was a bit prohibitive. So I was using a service called, there's this small cloud called Contabo. So I was using VPSs from Contabo, and I was really able to do a couple of things because I needed like 20 machines running at the same time, 24/7, you know. So that was a very beautiful experiment, and I really liked it. So that was then, and you see all of those machines were running independently, and I had no way to centrally manage them, although I came up with a nifty way of making one of them a master, which anything I do on it will actually be replicated on all the slaves or the followers at the same time. But now with Amazon Workspaces, what we're being told here is that you have now that ability to provision these virtual machines, and you can have them in a mix. You know, for example, in that system that I was running, maybe the product became viable, and now I wanted to take it to market. And then I discovered that I have customers that have different operating systems. Then it will be very easy for me to use something like Amazon Workspaces, because Amazon Workspaces has Linux and it also has Windows. So those are the two main operating systems. So when I give that to my clients, then they will know that, by the way, we have the opportunity to choose between using Windows or using Linux, and then they will use whatever they would want to use. So I thought that that was important to mention right there. So a lot of the things that we've discussed in terms of networking, that's the end of networking, but I'm saying that a lot of things that we've discussed in terms of networking, you'll come to discover that they have an almost immediate way that you can apply them. You can start applying these things as immediate as now. Running commands like ping, running commands like, which other command did we do yesterday? Ping always comes first because that is like what is already there. Traceroute, TraceSat, you know, all that. If you want to check for those things, you know, you can almost start doing that. If you want to connect your devices right now, you know, if you want to build a small home network, if you go to, let's say, YouTube, or even just applying the knowledge that we've taught you so far, that you know that, by the way, I can use one of these topologies. I can use a star topology, or I can use a bus topology. Now, when you are seated there, maybe you are new to IT, when you are seated in your house and then you are looking, you are saying, when the internet guys came to connect my house, so what they did, they gave me this thing. So this is actually the router, and this router is actually communicating to the internet, and it is what is allowing me to communicate to the internet, to send packets out and to receive packets in, stuff like that. If you have a printer in your house and you've been wondering, you've been asking yourself, now I have this printer, I know it is a modern printer, it has Wi-Fi, my devices have Wi-Fi, but I have this many devices. Now, how can I do what? How can I do a simple thing like just making sure that all these devices can do what? They can print to that same printer. You know, I can send documents there to be printed wirelessly. So you have a place to start from. Then finally, again, from this very course, you've also learned that there's actually a possibility of you connecting to devices using different wireless technologies. Like, for instance, even in my place, one of the things that I'm trying to figure out is how I can make my Wi-Fi stronger as you move away from the living room to the inner rooms. You know, so one of the things that I've been doing this week, I've been doing a lot of research around extending that Wi-Fi, and I found that there are gadgets in the market like extenders and repeaters that one can use just to make sure that internet is strong in the house. You see, all those things we learn because we are doing networking. And as we said earlier, we said that you guys have a unique opportunity to specialize in networking, should you choose, because AWS has AWS networking specialty as a course, or rather as a certification that you can pursue. It comes with coursework first, and then you do it. So those are things that you can do. So I hope that as we continue, as we get into security, as we go into programming, you guys are already, those who joined the program without really having an idea which route you want to take in the cloud once you're done with CCP, then maybe you'll have an idea of maybe by exposing you to these things, you will now start seeing and appreciating that, yes, we have these other things that we can get into. Maybe by the end of it, someone will come and tell us, I feel like I'm strongly driven towards security. I'd like to go the security route. Advise me on the path to follow. Another will say, I feel that I'm strongly driven towards architecting. Advise me on how to go there. Another one in DevOps, another one in networking, another one in IoT, all these things, and the others that we are yet to cover, another one in data. You understand? Another one in AI, ML. So that is why we are going through these things, so that you guys get a taste and a feel, of what is available, right? All right. So that is very, very good. Very nice, Salem. I can see what you're doing. Let me just open one of them before I release you guys for a short break. So when we come back from break, as promised, I hope, Rich, you are still up to the task. We are going to run the lab that we did yesterday, and Rich will be leading us through it. We'll do it as a class, all of us in class. So I advise those guys that have if you have your laptops with you or your machines with you, just when you come back with your labs ready, so that we can do these things together, step by step. And then we see what we achieve by the end of it. So we will run his solution. Should his solution run correctly and give us the expected result, I'll not show you my workaround, because I got another workaround. I think I tried it, and then when what was provided failed to work, I decided to do something different, and it worked. So stuff like that. So awesome. I like what you're doing. You're tinkering with the prompts. With the prompts. That is awesome. So guys, it is a few minutes past 10:30. So I'm going to give you a break, and I want us to be back here at 11 on the dot. We will not be going into our group work in this morning session. In the afternoon, we will expect all of you to check in to get to this call, to the afternoon call at 2 sharp. We see if we have any announcements, take the register, and then we'll break into our groups and do the networking labs in our groups all the way to 5. Today, we are going all the way to 5, so that you guys finish all your cases and labs for networking. And Joy and myself will be checking those groups to make sure that you guys are working. And then, because I don't want to forget, at night, remember at night, starting from 8 to 9, we'll be doing Linux catch-up labs. Linux catch-up labs at night. So, yeah, see you at 11. Cool. See you at 11. Go grab a tea, grab a coffee, grab a cup of uji, the real uji. Yes. We have to emphasize that. So let me pause recording. Okay, cool. So we can continue.
Okay, so I hope everyone has started their labs.
Okay.
How do I minimize this thing here at the top?
Which one?
This one for audio, video.
Maybe you can drop it to the bottom of your screen. Drag and drop.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so everyone has their labs open. Let me just restart this one. Let me just restart mine. Okay, mine is ready. So if yours is ready, just give me a thumbs up. If yours is ready, okay. All right. So open your, click on AWS. That one should open your should be able to sign you in into the console. Let me just log out. All right. So the first thing, navigate to that search button and just search VPC. And then click on VPC. So I want to be able to see the chat. So if you are stuck somewhere, you just unmute and then talk. So click on VPC and then click on create VPC. So here, create VPC. And then the next thing is to click on this where you have VPC only and VPC more. So click on VPC and more. All right, and then this one, uncheck this one for this auto generate here. So uncheck that one. So you uncheck that one and then scroll down. So this is the IPv4 CIDR block. So that's 10.0.0.0/16. And then you leave your IPv6 CIDR block as no. So this one is no. Just leave it as that. And then on tenancy, leave it as default. Then now on subnet configuration. So on subnet configuration, so the number of availability zones, we'll set it to 1. Then the number of public subnets, we'll set it to 1 as well. Then the number of private subnets, just leave it as 1 as well. Then we go to the NAT gateways. So NAT gateways, so we'll have 1 in one availability zone. So click on that one in one AZN. And then on VPC endpoints, you'll select it as none. I hope you are there, all of us. If you have been left behind, you can just unmute and if you're there, all of us, you just give me a thumbs up. All right, so let's go to naming our resources. So here on the preview pane, so you're going to name your lab, your VPC, I mean. So name it as lab VPC. And then just use this slider button here at the bottom, And then here on the first box, which is our public subnet, you're going to name it as public subnet 1, And then here on the second box, you're going to name it as private subnet 1. All right. Then we go to route tables. You just scroll that slider button at the bottom. Then we have the first box, which is for public route table. So you name it as public route table. And then the second box has private route table. All right. Then after you're done, scroll down and then click on create VPC. Give it some time to If we are there, all of us, give me a thumbs up. All right. So let's wait for our VPC to create. It's gonna take some minutes. So if yours is done, you can just write on the chat done. Kama yako isha build up, just write on the chat done.
Hi, Ridge.
Yes,
So I have a question.
yes.
We are not expanding the customized subnets CIDR block.
Where?
Before the NAT gateways. We're not assigning any IP addresses.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that. So mine is done. So if yours is done, you can just write on the chat done or just give me a thumbs up. Amy, okay. All right. Okay. Okay, Brian. All right, let's wait for Brian. All right. See, most of you are done. All right, Brian is done. So anybody mwenye yake bado haija nini? Okay, done, done, done. So if you can move on, just give me a thumbs up. Oh, Purity, not yet. Okay, Brian is done. Purity done. Anyone still left behind? Anyone still left behind? All right, so let's move on to the next. So click on view VPC. View VPC. All right. Oh. Okay. Nani aliuliza hiyo swali? I think you are right. We need to do that first. Sorry guys. We need to customize the subnet first. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. So let's just start again. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Sorry guys. Sorry. So let's just delete this one. Just delete the nimetengeneza, we start again. Just delete. Okay. Does it give me an option to delete? Patrick, am I able to delete this one or we just create another one?
Okay,
Patrick.
Try highlighting one, not all of them. Highlight one first and check. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
What
Thank you.
happened?
Thank you,
Before you delete, Before you delete, go back to the instructions. Go back to the instructions. I just want to check something. Scroll down. Okay, so the first step, go back up just a bit. All right, so resources to create VPC and more, and check that. Then we have default number of tenancy. You defined this one, sir. You define the number of availability zones. You define the public subnet and the private subnet. Then, expand, customize subnet CIDR. That's what you did not do, right?
Yes.
Okay. I can see that. Okay. Yeah. I don't think that there's a work around that. We have our subnets, but now we need to define the CIDRs. Yeah. Let's just start. Sorry for that. I wish I saw it in advance. I would have told you something about it, but yeah, let's just start again.
Sorry about that, guys.
And even for the guys that are following, please be reading, read the instructions. You know, maybe Ridge is not able to see it because he's using the whole screen for you guys to be able to see. So in case you discover that there is a step that is skipped, raise it. Okay, cool. So just delete those ones.
Patrick is yours able to delete. I'm trying to delete mine.
Okay, do this. Edit that name because now you know VPC comes with associations. There's a long way. There's a long route that you need to follow to delete a VPC that you've made. Yeah. So yeah. I think that will do. Let's see. Save that. Let's see if it will pick that name and that other one also. That's a clever way of doing it.
Okay.
Okay.
All
cool.
right. Yeah.
Okay. Now try creating a new one.
Okay. So just the same thing we're doing. Create VPC, and then go to VPC and more. And then you need to uncheck this one for auto generate. Then scroll down. Then here on IP, this one is okay.
Yeah.
Then IPv6 CIDR block has no, that's okay. And then tenancy, you leave it as default. And then here on the subnet configuration now, so the number of availability zones, we set it as 1. Then the number of public subnets, you set it as 1 as well. So in a bucket 1. And then number of private subnets as 1. So mahali hatukufanya hapa ni customize subnet CIDR blocks here. All right. So the public subnets you're supposed to be 10.0.0.0/24. So 10.0.0.0/24. And then for the private 10.0.1.0. 10.0.1.0/24. No, it's for the public. 10.0.0.0/24. And then for the private, it's 10.0.1.0. Yeah. So everyone has customized their subnets. Thumbs up. Let me get a thumbs up if you've done that. Okay, thank you. And then now let's move on to the NAT gateways. So on the NAT gateways, you're going to set in 1 availability zone. And then for the VPC endpoints, you set it to none. And then now let's go to naming our resources. So you're going to name VPC as lab VPC. Then the slider button, we go to subnets. So on the first box, which is the public subnet, you set it as public subnet 1. And then on the second box, private subnet 1. And then we move on to the route tables. So on the route tables, the first box is public route table. Public route table. And then on the second box is private route table. So we have public route table and private route table. So once you're done, let's just confirm from the top. So we started with the resources to create VPC and more, and then we unchecked this one we unchecked this auto generate. And then the next one, IPv4 CIDR block, we left it as that. And then IPv6 CIDR block, we set it to no IPv6 CIDR block. And then we left the tenancy is left as default. Then the number of availability zones, we set it to 1. And then the number of public subnets, we set it to 1. Then the number of private subnets, we set it to 1. Then customizing our subnet CIDR blocks. So the public subnet is 10.0.0.0/24. Then the private subnet is 10.0.1.0/24. Then scrolling down to the NAT gateways, so you have choose the number of availability zones, so 1 in 1 AZ, and then VPC endpoints we set to none. Then naming your resources, lab VPC, and then on the subnets, we have the public subnet 1 on the first box, and then private subnet 1 on the second box. And then on route tables, the first box, public route table, and the second box, private route table. If you are there, all of us, give me a thumbs up before we create our VPC. All right, so create your VPC. So we are done with task 1. So then our next task is to create additional subnets. So let's wait for VPC to If yours is done, you can just type on the chat done or give me a thumbs up. Mine is still running. So if yours is done, just type on the chat done. All right, mine is still running. Okay, mine is done. So if yours is done, just type done. Or give me a thumbs up. Sandra is done. So let's still wait for the others. Elfas, thank you. Done. Musembi done. So I'm still waiting for the others. All right. Okay, Brian. So if you're done, you can just type on the chat done. Okay, Brian is done. I'm waiting for the others. Abby, Mary, Silas, Anthony, Tony, Samuel. Yes, Abby done, Mary done, Gail done. Okay, so we move on to task 2. Thumbs up if you're okay to move on to task 2. All right, so let's move on to the next task. So click on View VPC. So the next task is to create additional subnets. So in this task, you create 2 additional subnets in a second availability zone. So in the left navigation pane, so here on your left navigation pane, here, where you have your VPCs, subnets, you click on that subnets, click on subnets, and then move to the top right, create subnet, create subnet, and then create subnets in this VPC. Click on that drop down, you see your lab VPC. So click on lab VPC. I hope kila mtu rename yake so you don't have any conflict issues. So click on lab VPC, this one. Click on lab VPC. And then scroll down. We're going to give our subnet a name. So here on subnet name, give it as public subnet 2. Public subnet 2. Then on availability zone, leave it as no preference. And then here on IPv4 subnet CIDR block, IPv4 subnet CIDR block. So the IP address 10.0, 10.0.0.2.0. Yeah, 10.0, 10.0.2.0/24. 10.0, 10.0.2.0/24. 10.0.2/24. And then click on create subnet. Then the next one is to create another subnet, which will be our private subnet again. So again, go back hapo tu kwa subnets, click on create subnet, and then select your VPC, which is the lab VPC. Lab VPC. And then subnet name is private subnet 2. Private subnet 2. And then on availability zone, leave it as no preference. And then here on IPv4 subnets CIDR block, you're going to set it as 10.0.3.0/24. 10.0.3.0/24. And then click on create subnet. Create subnet. So by now you should have 4 subnets in total. Let me just refresh and see. So you should be having 4 subnets in total. So you should have 4 subnets in total. So Patrick, just to, I think, nani ako na more than 4?
Just a sec. Yes. So yeah, you're asking about those who have more than 4 subnets, maybe because they had they erred in making the first ones. So
Okay.
Date of time of creation is not seen there.
Yeah.
But let's see. Go back to the ESIS. I saw something
Where?
about ESIS. There was something about ESIS. Availability zones. For the pole 2. Okay, continue. Yeah, there. So let's see. ESIS also, it does not really distinguish which is where. Okay. So why don't you go back to the VPC, your VPCs?
Yeah.
Go back to your VPCs just on the left. And then for lab VPC, for the 2 lab VPCs that are wrong, the first one add an X in front of it, and then the other one add a Y, so that we can distinguish them when we go back there. Add an X before, not after, before. Before.
Okay.
An X, save that. And then the other one add a Y. And then we leave our original as is.
Okay.
Then now we go back to where we were at. We were looking at the subnet.
Okay.
So when you go to the subnet, scroll now, you're able to see X and Y. Are you seeing in the first 2?
Yeah, yeah.
So those are the faulty ones, and then you have the other ones. Will that help?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, this one will help.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to the next task, which is
Then your volume is a bit low.
okay.
Okay, I'm a bit, I'm
So
spending a bit kusikia. Just ongeza sauti kidogo tu.
so the task 3, so associate the subnet and add routes. That is for our task 3. Associate the subnets and add routes. So in the left navigation pane, choose route tables.
Oh, wait. Kidogo tu. Now for purity, you see here kwa subnet where you are saying you're only seeing one. Up there, there is this last updated 1 minute ago. I know yours might be reading like it was last updated like 30 minutes ago thereabout. Just click on this thing to refresh. There is that thing that looks like a circle. If you click on it, it will refresh and then it will bring all the public subnets listed there. Try that and tell us on chat if you can see them. Yeah, that one. What Ridge is pointing at. Good. Now you can see them. Cool. Just make sure that you change the labels for the faulty VPCs so that you remain with the real ones, so that when you start doing association, you will associate the right ones. Okay. Cool. Okay. You can continue, Ridge.
Okay. So on your left navigation pane, move to route tables, click on route tables. And then let's configure the public route table. So click on public route table. Public route table. So this one will require X, Y, X. So let's see. Public route table. So here you need to be very careful. See, choose the wrong one. But if yours is okay, hauna VPC mingi, just click on public route table. So see XX. 1, 2, 3. Public route table. Okay, so ni hizi za chini. So click on public route table, this one. You click on public route table and then scroll down, kuna hii place here, subnet associations hapa. So once you've clicked that public route table, you click on subnet associations and then click on edit subnet associations. And then check the box for public subnet 2. Public subnet 2. So you see your IP addresses zinafaa kuwa 10.0.0.0 and then public subnet 2 10.0.2.0. Let's see whether those are our public addresses. So public subnet 2 was 10.0.2.0 and then public subnet 1 was 10.0.0.0. So we are okay. So click on those public subnet 1 and public subnet 2 and then scroll down and save associations. Save associations. Save. So have we done that? Are we okay? If you are done.
Ridge, before you continue.
Yes.
Could you go back to when you're selecting what are you selecting before you now edit, the available subnets? Let me see what I'm trying to say. So people who can select the public route table, not the private one.
No, the public. You're supposed to select the public.
Okay. Select private. Okay.
Yeah, select the public route table. Then you go to subnet associations. then edit subnet here, and then check public subnet 1 and public subnet 2. And then just to confirm, unaangalia the IP address. So you see it's our public subnet 1 is 10.0.0.0/24. Then our public subnet 2 is 10.0.2.0/24, which is on our steps in follow. So you see our public subnet was 10.0.0.0/24, and then when we are creating the additional subnets, our public subnet 2 was 10.0.2.0/24. So we are good. We are good up to that point. Thumbs up if we are okay. All right. So we move on to the next. So go back again to route tables. So just go back here, Papa route tables. And then now let's configure the private route table. So click on private route table. So I think ilikuwa here chini. Let me confirm. Yes. So uncheck this public one and then click on private route table. Once you click on private route table, click on subnet association here, and then edit subnet your associations here. Edit subnet Apple. So edit, and then just to confirm, you see that your private subnet 1 has an address of 10.0.1.0, and then your private subnet 2 should be 10.0.3.0, which is on our HININI. So our private subnet 2 is 10.0.3.0, which is okay. So we are good. So click on private subnet 2, and then scroll down and then save your associations. Save. So are we good?
Hi, Rich.
Yeah. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Under subnet associations, now click edit subnet associations under explicit subnet associations instead of subnets without explicit associations.
Pardon? Ebu rudia tena.
Kwa instructions,
yeah,
wanasema enter subnets without explicit associations, under hapo ndo una edit subnet associations.
Subnets, under subnets without explicit associations.
Ebu click hapo subnet associations.
Yeah.
Unaona una click here kwanza edit subnet associations instead of ukidrag chini. Yes, hapa subnets without explicit. I thought ni hapa tunafaa click the second one.
Patrick.
One sec. Under subnet without, go back to that instruction. That's actually it. Yes. It's supposed to, we are supposed to use the subnet without explicit association. Yeah, thank you for catching that, Abby. But hata ujaenda sana, you can dissociate whatever you've associated and then reassociate them in the right place. I think it's possible to dissociate.
So how do we do that?
Able click on that wheel. You see there's a wheel there.
Where?
That thing that looks like settings, the wheel, yeah, that one. Able click on it to see what it does. Not that. Remove the talk up wachana yo. That drop down, no, that is to close the panel. So give me a second, I check how to do that.
Okay.
Kevin, if you can unmute, can you please guide Region what he can do? Or Habakkuk, one of you.
You can attempt to click on that edit subnet associations, and then we go to where we are editing. Yeah, these ones, then you just remove them here. Click on the X. Which one are we changing first? Then we just need to remove it here and save here. Click on that. Then you save.
Oh. Then save.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then to the other one as well.
So the next one also public route table, subnet associations, edit. So then save. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So thank you for that, Abby. So let's now do the right thing. So we start again. Public route table. So public route table, and then click on subnet associations, and then scroll down to subnets without explicit associations. So edit. Yeah. Then public subnet. Yeah, Abby, you're right. So I hope kila mtu anafanya hiyo. Save. Then you go to uncheck the public one, then go to private, then click on subnet associations, then go to subnets without explicit associations, edit subnets, and then private subnet too. So just to confirm, unaangalia the IP addresses, make sure they are the ones that are on this nini yenye tunafuata, then save associations. Yeah, I think we are good now. Thank you, Abby. So if you are good, you can just give me a thumbs up. Yeah, Leonard has said you refresh your labs. So refresh your labs. So refresh your labs. All right. So we are good. We move on to the next. Thumbs up if you're good. All right. So let's move on to the next. So our next create a VPC security group. So our task 4 is create a VPC security group. So in your left navigation pane, choose security groups. So scroll down and then choose on security groups. Click on security groups. So I don't know that I'll be able to delete this one. Let's see. Patrick.
Okay, so you want to delete the web security group?
Because I have there's this one here already.
So web security group. Okay, So what you'll do, you know, you know that is only but a name, eh? So the name does not really matter. So what you do to create one that you want to make sure that you don't confuse. Okay, guys, refresh your labs. So you can go to create a new security group and name it as WebSG.
Okay.
WebSG, it's still okay.
Okay. So click on create security group and then give it a name. Give it a name. So I'll just name it as web security. So that's the name I've given it. And then on the description, you're supposed to enable HTTP access. Enable HTTP access. And then on VPC, select your lab VPC. Select your lab VPC. And then scroll down on the inbound rules, add a rule. So add a rule, and then here we'll set it to HTTP. And then allow from anywhere IPv4. And then the description. So the description was permit web request. Permit web request. Permit web request. So just to go over that again, so you click on security groups and then you give your security group name. So that's mine. And then on the description, enable HTTP access. And then on VPC, select the drop down and then select the lab VPC. And then inbound rules, add a rule. And then on the type, set it as HTTP. And then source anywhere IPv4. And then description, permit web requests. And then scroll down and create your security group. Create security group. Create security group. So if you are done, give me a thumbs up on that. If you've created your security group, just give me a thumbs up. All right, thank you. So we move on to the next, task 5, launch a web server instance. So on the AWS Management Console, so let's just go back. So just click on this AWS, it will take you to home. And then click on EC2. If yours haijakuja, just on the search bar, just search EC2. Kama haijakuleta kwa recently visited. So so let me just delete first this key pair yenye nilikuwa nayo hapa. Okay. So if you have a key pair yenye imekuwa listed here on the resources, just click on key pairs and delete it. So enter to key pairs and then select it, and then on the actions, delete your key pair yenye iko hapa. All right. Now let's launch an instance. So scroll down and click launch instance. So you're going to give it a name, and then choose Amazon Linux, and then from the drop down choose Amazon Linux 2 AMI HVM. So you're going to give it a name. So just give it a name. My web server 1. Web server 1. And then this one remains as Amazon Linux. And then choose Amazon Linux 2 AMI. Patrick?
Oh, I'm just about to stand. Yes.
Amazon Linux 2, because for me I just use this one, the
Yes.
one.
Yes, we will use that. Again, the way I
Okay.
told you guys, problem has been with the problem has been with the things have changed in terms of AMIs that we have access to. So this is the latest AMI. The other one was Yakitambo. So just use what we have there. Don't change anything there.
Okay. So leave this one as it is. Then scroll down. Instance type, leave it as it is. And then here on key pair login, create new key pair. Create new key pair. Then key pair name should be Voki. And then for Windows users, you're going to set these as .ppk.
Just a sec, Rich. Don't you think there will be a conflict, as in, hasn't that key already been provided? Able to try creating, we see. Oh, you deleted it?
Yes, I deleted mine.
Okay. So if you deleted it, you will do that. But if you've not deleted it, Ebu, go back to instructions. I show you something. Go back to instructions. Under details, click on details. Show. So the key is already there. You can also get the key there. It is actually the same, but you can still create. But I think
Okay.
I like your style of creating because it makes you know how to do it. You see the key is already there.
Okay.
So you can download the key as the PPK or a PEM depending on your operating system, but just proceed with the route that you are taking.
Okay. So if you are on Windows, use .ppk, then click on create. Create key pair. It says it already exists.
That is the error that I was talking about. Just get out of that window first, we see. Just cancel. Yeah, you can cancel there. Try with the drop down. Because I'm wondering where did you delete it? It already exists. Okay, there's still what I'm thinking. Do this. Wait. But if you proceed without, if you proceed without, it will cause us problems. Because for us to call, even if we were to use the one that we have out here, okay, do this. Able to try using, it was supposed to be Voki, VOCKE, yes?
Yes.
Try and create a key pair with a different name, but still with the same letters. Try Voki without a C. Create a new key with Voki without a C. And so we will be using this to SSH. Yeah, just create it like that. But now in future labs, don't delete it because that has already been provisioned for you. And I proved that that instance was working. So
Okay.
just create, we see. I hope this will work. Yeah, maybe lab user, but we try as far as possible to have a name that is very, very similar to what has been provided in the instructions. But let us just go with the Voki. I hope that has downloaded.
Yeah.
So you can proceed.
All right. So the next is on the network settings. So click on edit.
Wait. Before you move, click on the hamburger menu. I see something. That hamburger menu. Next, we see to that one. Okay, scroll down. I want to see. Yeah. Okay, for the key pairs, open that in a different in a different window. See if it can open in a different window or a new tab. Yeah, new tab, not window. Let's see the key pairs that are in the system. Yeah, you see Voki. Voki is already there. Voki is already there. Ebu, check that Voki. Check that box for Voki. And then let's go to actions. Yeah, select that.
The second one.
Yes. Go to actions. I want to see what we have there. Import key, delete, manage. No, leave it as is. Just go back and continue with what we were doing.
Okay.
It's okay.
I think he can use the Voki still, the one that they had already given to us. He can search for it in the key pair and use it.
In the key pair. Let's see. Ebu search there.
Oh, it's here.
There it is. There it is. Yes, use it. It is safer to use what has been provided. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Kevin, for that.
All right. So so after that, we move on to the next network settings. So you click on network settings, and then VPC required, choose lab VPC. So here on the drop down, choose lab VPC. Yeah, lab VPC, and then public subnet should be public subnet 2. Public subnet 2. Yeah, mine is already there, public subnet 2. And then here on auto assign public IP, you change it to enable.
Yes.
And then you scroll down, then click on where you have create security group and select existing security group. You click on select existing security groups. And then on the drop down, you see your security group. So mine was web security SG. So you click on that. And then expand the advanced details. So end user data, copy and paste the following code. So we'll copy this one, Control C. And then you scroll down to where you have advanced details. So iko chini kabisa, advanced details. Then you keep on scrolling mpaka chini kabisa, chini kabisa. Are we there?
Yes.
And then you paste it there. If you are there, just give me a thumbs up. If you are there, give me a thumbs up. All right, thank you, Sandra. So after that, just click on launch instance. Click on launch instance. All right. Then go back to your instances and check whether it's still running. So Mine ishakuwa nini already. Now it's still running. It's still running. So it's this second one. Still initializing. Yeah, it's the second one which has web security SG. Yeah. So are we there? Kama yako imepass the 3 checks, green checks, you just type done. Ama passed. So mine is still running.
So in the meantime, you can be creating the PuTTY session. But I believe by the time you are done, the checks will have already finished.
All right. So you open your PuTTY. Let's wait for the host name. Yeah, so it's passed. This is the second one. So my public IP address is so when you do this, you will actually get an error. So like if you copy the public IPv4 DNS, so like if we try to do that, let's just try and see. So that's the public DNS, and then just open it on a new tab. So you'll get an error, the site cannot be reached, even in as much as tumefanya everything and you've not left out any step. So so the next thing that you want to do is to let us go with the option here, configuring it on PuTTY. So we want to SSH it from PuTTY. So the first thing, let us go back and add an SSH access to the security group. So go back to your security group server. And then select your web security group. So mine was this web security SG, this one. And then click on inbound rules. Click on inbound rules and then edit inbound rules. And then we're going to add a rule for allowing SSH access. So add a rule and then SSH. And then anywhere IPv4. Then you're just going to give it a description, allow SSH access, and then save rules. And then we go back to our instances where we have our web server 1 running, and then now copy the IPv4 address. Then open your PuTTY and paste it there, your IP address. Then on connection, you can set it to 30 seconds. And then SSH, auth, credentials, and then browse for your voki.ppk. So voki.ppk, then open, and then accept. Then log in as EC2 user. Oh God. Nani yake imekubali? Patrick, this one is the one that I created a long ago. So how do I download this recent one? Because it's not downloaded.
Okay, so if you good. So just go to the information where I told you. Just close out of that. Go to the instructions. There is that details. Go to details.
Details, yes.
Sure. Then download that PPK. It is actually the same replica with what we have in the.
Okay.
Yeah. So download that PPK.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, guys, use that key. Use that key. In as much as it is, they are calling it lab user, just use it as is.
Okay.
But that's the key for the lab.
All right. So go back to your PuTTY. Then copy the IPv4 address. Copy. And then paste it there. Connection, set it to 30. Then SSH, credentials, browse, labsuser.ppk, open.
Let's see if that will work, because that's what I used and it actually worked. Login as
EC2 user. Sorry about my background, guys.
No worries. There it is.
Yeah, it's okay. We are logged in. Yep. So if you are there, if you've logged in, restart your labs, guys. So if you've logged in, just type done or give me a thumbs up. If you've logged in, just give me a thumbs up. Yes. Thumbs up. So are we good? Have we logged in? Have we successfully logged in kwa PuTTY yetu?
Guys, you should be communicating, because now if you're left behind. Good. I can see Habakkuk, I can see Abby. Awesome.
So we continue?
Yes.
All right. So someone tell me the command that you use if you want to become an admin, like if you want admin access. Which command do you use? Just type on the chat. All right. Sudo su. Thank you, Salim. Yeah, so go to your PuTTY. Then just type sudo su. So you'll have the administrator privileges. So you're supposed to turn from $sign to the # sign and then you should have the root IP, like, yeah. So that one now gives you the admin privileges. And then what you're going to do is to install the web server software. So which command do you use when you want to install? Which command do you use? Yep, yum install. Yes, thank you, Salim. So yum install, then httpd php. Click on enter. And then so you're going to create a website directory. So which command do you use for creating a new directory? mkdir. Yes. So you're going to create a directory for all our files. So mk directory, and then the path is, you're going to have 3 paths: variable, then for the www, and then HTML. Enter. Yeah, thank you, Salim. Yes, exactly. And then now let's download and set up the website. So we're going to create a temporary directory. So we are going to change directory into that temporary directory, which is cd cmp. And then which command do we use to pull things from the internet? Yes, Salim, we get. So cd cmp we get, and then let me just find that link and paste it. So it's here. So just copy it. It's on the mahali kulikuwa na user data. Just copy it. You copy, then come and paste it here. Paste it and then enter.
Oh, you have entered Wiget twice. That's why.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Just use directional keys.
CD, CMP, and then I just.
No, I mean just delete that. Just yes. So go back to the beginning and then remove one of the widgets. Oh yeah. Good. Yeah, you're good. Kumbe, you have pasted. Okay. You're good.
Yeah.
Remove. Nice. Too many arguments again.
Yeah.
Let's see. There is something that is not happening right. Ebu, move your nini away from the instructions. I want to see the instructions. Move the putty session out of the instructions. So are you really supposed to do CD? Remove the CD and just do Wiget directly.
Okay.
Because you're actually in the right directory, so you don't need to CD.
Okay.
Try that, we see. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then so once you've done that, so unzip. The next one is unzip. So just copy that. And then paste it there and zip. No. What is this?
Yeah, you need to unzip. Right.
So let me just type zip. Yeah. So ikikata kucopy, just type it. Mimi nilikata, so just type it. All right. So are we there, kila mtu? So Patrick, the next thing I did was I changed ownership. To give Apache all the direct access of the files. Is it okay?
Yes. But try that, we see.
So
So that is the directory where our web files are, yes? Res?
yes.
The ones we've unzipped. Okay, so that's okay.
And then the next thing is to give permission to read and write all the files.
Mm-hmm. Are we using change on there or change mode?
Change. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's change mode. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, it's change mode. Change mode. Yeah. Yes. And then now let's start the web service. Let's start the Apache web service. So which command do you use for starting a web service? In the chat. Somebody type on the chat the command that you use for starting a web service. Guys, okay, thank you, Salem. So, thank you, Salem. So it's, yeah, system, CTL, enable, system CTL enable HTTPD. No, Salem, you have to give me start first. Thank you. They're supposed to start system, CTL, start, HTTPD. They're interchangeable. Okay.
Yeah, the order does not really matter between the two.
Okay.
But now, okay, I've also seen places where you can actually use one or the other.
Okay. All right, so let's check the status. System CTL status HTTPD. Yeah, so it's okay. So it's running. So just click on Q to Q, like taka could leave out that, just type Q. Now let's go back to our instance, our EC2 instance, and then just copy this public IPv4 address, and then just open it. So HTTP, then paste it. Yeah, so there. So you should be able to get these one, the one they needed.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That is excellent. That is very, very good. Ebu, try using the DNS. We see if it's still giving us an error.
All right. It's okay.
It's okay.
Even
Yes,
if, yeah.
yes. So it is okay. It's okay because you have sorted everything. So that is that is good. Now there is another way around it. This one I'm just going to mention. There's another way around it. Let's just go back to our instance on the console.
Instance?
Yeah, on the instance.
Yeah.
Because ideally, if you look at the instructions, fact that you are given that user data, if the user data was correct, then you wouldn't have to even SSH into the instance. It was supposed to handle everything for you. Okay? It was supposed to handle everything for you. So I want you to stop that instance.
Just the one we...
Yes, the one that, yes, the one that we've created. I want you to go and stop it. Because if you want to change anything inside an instance, you have to stop it first.
Okay.
So just stop it first. Tell me, keep refreshing and tell me when it reads stopped.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get the working user data I share with you. I actually did the same process that you've done. I SSH'd, then I ran everything. You see what you've done after running everything. You can now write all those commands that you ran together and then now create a user data out of it, because you don't want to repeat this process in future instances. Maybe you want to create one golden image that you can use to spin other instances. You see, now going through that process, one instance after the other, and then it's not replicatable. It becomes a bit tedious. So let me teach you guys something. Select that instance, web server 1. Then go to actions.
Actions.
Yes.
Okay.
Actions. And then under instance settings, click on instance settings. Look for user data. Where is user data? Was it there? Let me see. Scroll down. Yeah, edit user data.
Yeah. Okay.
So on user data, what are they saying? Teremka chini. Just chini kidogo. Okay, there. I want you to delete everything that is inside there.
Here.
Yes, delete. Just highlight and delete. Let me see, where is my user data? I'm going to give you user data on the chart and then just copy it exactly as is. Okay. So copy it exactly as is. And after you've copied, do nothing. I want to explain something. And you will see it's actually almost the same thing that you did. Copy that if you can see it.
Okay. I paste it here.
Yes, paste it inside there. Okay, so scroll to the top so that we just talk about this briefly. It's actually the same thing that you've done. So you see the kind of shell that we are using is the bash shell. Then we start by updating all packages. That's what we do when we are using Linux. So you use yum update -y is to say yes to everything that will require you to confirm. And then the next step is install Apache, PHP, and MySQL. In in this instance, we will be installing MariaDB. Okay, you did not install this, but because it was in the original, so I decided to include it there. So we'll be installing a database called MariaDB, which is a MySQL variant. Then now this is the how do you call it? This is the command that we will use. That is yum install -y for all yes, httpd, php, MariaDB 105-server, then php, and then after that, we will then do, we will also install a utility called unzip and wget. You know, those are also utilities that we will install. Then scroll up. Then we will start and enable both our Apache and MariaDB. So we do systemctl enable httpd. So you see, when I told you enable and start can follow any order, that's what I meant. Then you also have systemctl start httpd, then systemctl enable MariaDB. In any system for devs in the house, you'll remember that we always start by running the server, then the database, and then now everything will flow as it's supposed to be. Then after you've enabled MariaDB, you start MariaDB, scroll. So MariaDB will serve as our database, and then downloading the files. You see, so for here we were CDing into TMP, because that's where we want this file to go. Now you see the difference here is that you already created the path that the files will be installed, and you are already in that path. So you needed not to CD. That's why I was telling you need not to CD. Then you see the same widget you used is the same one that I used there. Drop down, continue. Then of course we will unzip after we have downloaded. Wget is to download into our instance. Then we install. Same way you will download any application from the internet to your machine, and then you install. So we unzip it. After unzipping, you see where we are unzipping it to, the same thing you did. Then the correct permissions, the very same ones that you did, the change on and change mode, Teremka. Then we are going to enable and start Apache again for safety. That is after we have done everything that we've done up there. And then this check config. So check config will check the configuration for HTTPD. On service HTTPD start, and then there's an optional step, which is not very important, but Teremka tu chini. Then you see that echo, continue down.
The last one.
You're at the end, good. So this is what I used, and it actually worked. So try saving it. Let us try running it to see if it will work. Fingers crossed. Or is it closed? Let's see if it will work. Okay, user data. Okay, after user data has been updated, go back to actions. And then, no, not actions, instance state, sorry, instance state. Then start the instance. So give it a few for it to start. It will take a few to do that. So it is running, but we are still waiting for it to initialize. So it is doing the installations in the, wait a minute. Oh yeah. Good. Wait a minute, stop. I skipped something. I skipped something. Okay, just finish. I'll just explain that. I don't want to keep you guys here. I skipped something. There is something that we were supposed to do before we started this process, but it's okay. It's okay. No worries. Just refresh it until it runs. How comes you people did not tell me? How many you don't know? I've just remembered it right now. Continue initializing. No, this is the problem of doing things via ClickOps instead of using maybe scripts. That's the problem, because if we had used just scripts, we would have remembered. But I'll tell you once we run it. If we get a success or a failure message, I'll tell you the reason. Just give it a few. Remember, it is installing all those things that we told it to install.
Okay.
Refresh it again. Yes, it's not taking forever. Select that instance.
This one?
Yeah. Go to down there, look at, is it status and alarms? Click on status and alarms. After details, scroll up. Oh, you do not have access. Yeah, you have access because it's already checking. So one of the checks has already passed. These are actually the 3 checks that normally runs. The 3 checks you see up there are actually this one. So one has already finished. So there are these 2 that are still remaining: status, system status checks, and instance status check. So that is where we are at. Go back to the instance and refresh again. Supposed to be checked all. Now you see down here, all of them are checked, yes? Green, green, green.
Yeah.
So after checking that, drop. Okay, let's go back to details. Details. And then pick the DNS, public DNS. Open a different, open an incognito window. Then paste it there, we see. Wait a minute, does not support continue to site. There it is.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yes.
Now this result might be accurate or inaccurate. What I discovered that we are supposed to do, go back to the instance. What I discovered that we were supposed to do, because you installed all the other things using independent instance after SSHing, we were supposed to have run an install. We were supposed to have had run and install commands. You understand? The same way you had installed HTTPD and all those other dependencies. You are supposed to have first of all started by uninstalling so that we have a clean web server. Go remove the faulty data user and then user data. User data, and then put ours. But still, I approve this one works. It works. You know, it works. So it should work even for you guys. It should work for you guys. So guys, copy that before we end the call. Make sure you copy that and you can use that, or you can follow Regis' direction. All of them are good. But now as we progress, you will discover that automation is very good. All right? Automation is really, really good. And when you come across a problem, always find a way around it. You know? Always find a way around it. Yeah, you can also create a new instance. You can actually create a new instance and use this user data. You know, how long do we have? Let me see. For that process, we have like 4 minutes. No, okay, this is the thing. I don't want to keep you here. So that process, you'll do it by yourselves. You guys, you've seen, okay, not even by yourselves. You'll actually do them in your groups. So make sure you've copied the user data. I'm going to share it also in the group so that you can use it in the afternoon. So in the afternoon, when you start your labs, maybe you can start with this because it's still fresh. Start with this. Should you run into any problem, you can always reach back to me. So we will be monitoring you in the afternoon. And in the afternoon, come back. Join with the afternoon session. Oh, yeah, join with the afternoon joining link. And then we will create breakout rooms. You'll not use Google Meet, you'll use Zoom because we want to track. We will create breakout rooms for all the 5 groups in Kenai 53 and the 5 groups in Kenai 54. Then you'll break out into those rooms, get working all the way to around 4:30, 4:45. Then we will tell you what we will be doing after that, but we will talk in the afternoon. So thank you again, Rich. That was really nice. That was really, really good. And that was really a very good job that you did. So thank you very much. Any questions from anyone before we go? Any question from anyone before we go? Cool. Silence means that we are good. So I'll stop recording and you guys have yourself a fantastic lunch break. See you at 2 sharp. Okay. Bye-bye for now. Where is that record?